This story is about a ship, a sailing ship named Poseidon, and it is very big, so big that it has a lot of floors. And today, a lot of people had come in the ship, which everyone was very happy because today is the night of 31st December. That is, a new year will start from tomorrow, where someone is partying in the ship, someone is playing cards, someone is dancing. Then we see the control room of the ship, where the captain suspects something is wrong. He says that there is definitely something wrong, and then he sees that a very big and high wave is coming towards his ship, seeing which all the captains get very scared and start trying to turn the ship quickly. They succeed in turning it, but the wave was so big that a few minutes ago the moon was visible behind it, but it is completely hidden behind this layer, which meant that the wave was much bigger than their ship. Then they announced that there is going to be a very big problem in the ship. There is going to be an accident, so all the passengers and officers should be alert. And as soon as this announcement is made, there's a ruckus, and then the high wave is hit by their ship, whose pressure is so high that Poseidon, which is such a big ship, is completely upside down in the sea, which means that the upper part went down, that is, it became land, and the first one came up. As soon as the ship turns, it is obvious that things fall, etc. There is a crack in which a lot of people die by drowning. Apart from this, there is a big blast in the engine room, due to which all the captains who are running the ship also die. Now in the ship's hall, where there were the most people, an officer comes and tells us that we have good news and bad news. The bad news is that a very big tsunami has hit the ship, due to which it has completely turned, no one can get out of here, and the good news is that a few minutes before the wave collided, the rescue team, which saves everyone in a bad time, informed them about it. So they're going to come here soon with helicopters, so everyone is completely relaxed. We will get out of here very soon. Now we see a man whose name was Dalen. He was taking out important things from the dead officer in front of him, to whom a child comes and asks, "What are you doing?" On which Dalen tells that I am actually preparing to leave from here. The child says, "But you can't get out of here. Now it has been told that the ship has turned upside down." Dalen says, "But there is a way out of here, and that is the way down, for which it is obvious that I will have to go up." Then as soon as he starts leaving from here, the child brings his mother here, and because Dalen has already met his mother, he knows her. His mother asks Dalen, "What did you tell her that you can get out of here?" On which he says that, "Yes, I know about a way." The child's mother says, "But you didn't hear. Now an officer said that we should wait here. Help is coming. The ship is upside down, so no one can get out of here." In the meantime, another man, Robert, and an old man also come. The old man tells that I am an architect, means a designer of everything, an expert in making all kinds of things, who knows very well about ships, and according to me, this ship was not made in such a way that it was upside down, which means that it will remain in such water and will sink, by which all of us will die. Now the other man, that is Robert, asks Dalen, "Do you know the way to the disco?" Dalen says that yes, it is up, but why do you want to go to the disco in the first place? Robert says, "No, my daughter is stuck there. I also want to go with you, but first I will save my daughter, and then we will take her and go from here." Dalen says that no, this cannot happen, because I do my work alone. Then Robert asks him, "Okay, tell me which is the shortest way to go up from here." On which he says, "As soon as I know, I will tell you," which proves that Dalen wants to get out of here, but he himself does not know. Then Robert calls a man on the ship and asks him, "Okay, which is the shortest way to go up from here?" On which he begins to explain the way to him with signs. Robert says to him, "As much as you earn in a year, I will give you double the money, just take us there yourself." On which the man agrees, that is now he will also go with Robert. After this, Robert says to Dalen, "Listen to me, if you have a plan, then we have a guide who will tell us about every place. So if we all go together, then our lives can be saved. If we go separately, then we may die." For which now, finally Dalen agrees, after which all the people get together to go to the lower part of the ship. We know that the ship is at the top, so they were going there, and going there it was going to leave from the road where there are big wings which take the ship forward. But when the people were leaving the soil, all the doors there were closed so that the water could not come inside. Although there was a lot of water there, but the windows and doors there were so strong that more water could not come inside. They were moving forward so that they could somehow reach the lower part of the ship and leave here so that their lives were saved. But after going a little bit further, all their way is closed because a lot of people's bodies are big. After which they open the lift door. The lift is very high from here, so they make a way to the front door with a very large iron bar so that people can open that door and get out of here. But even after trying, the door does not open from them. But then the door of the lift on the upper floor opens, so people like this help each other and get out of that way and come in the way of that lift. But still 2 people were behind, an old man and a shipman, their cow. and as soon as people were climbing up that way, then the way of the iron bar under them slips and falls, after which they hang from the side of that lift road. They can't even touch it because there are a lot of people down there, and if they fall, it's just death. But the trouble was not less by hanging here because the lift above was also coming down slowly, which if it collides with the lift, then their death is confirmed. Now Dalen holds the hand of the old man, while the guide is hanging holding the old man's leg. Dalen is trying to pull him, but the weight was too much, so he fails in this. Then Dalen sees that the lift is about to fall from the top, so he tells the old man to somehow drop the guide down. Leave him, or you will also die. Then the old man does not want to hit the leg and drops it, which leads to the death of the guide. Then as Dalen pulls the old man, the lift goes down hard, which causes a big blast there and fire spreads everywhere. So Dalen and Robert quickly close the door of their lift, and now one of them was killed. Now there are 5 people left, after which they start moving forward again. After going a little bit further, they reach the top of the ship, which means that a total of 4 people had met them, which means that now they are 9, and they have to reach the top of the ship as soon as possible because the ship is about to sink. Now when people were moving forward, the road closes once again, and if these people want to go to the other side, then a very big railing of iron was broken and fell there, through which they could go to the other side. Then Dalen asks them that does anyone know any other way to get out of this ship? Now a girl who has been hiding in this ship for a long time because she did not have a ticket, so she tells them that I have been living in this ship for a long time. I know about every place here.
Apart from this, there's no other way to get out of here. After which now these people climb up the railing one by one and start leaving from here, where 5 people slowly reach the other side. Then Robert tells his daughter that now you go, son, to go to the other side. But then a drunkard comes here who met him in the disco. He says that I will go first. And then as he starts going, there's in the middle, then a very large part of the engine falls on it, due to which the drunkard and the railing also break and go down with him. Now with that part of the engine, a lot of oil also falls in the water. The sparklers were already falling there, so because of that there is a fire in the water. And the drunkard was dead, so there were 8 left now, but only 5 people went to the other side, where they had to go, while Robert, his daughter, and Dalen were still stuck there. There was a fire in the water. There was no way for them to go that way because the railing had also broken due to the fall of the engine. Then Dalen ties a rope with a pipe and jumps into the water because he knows that there is water below where you can't even touch it. That's why he reaches the other side while floating down. There he ties the other end of the rope with the pipe, due to which Robert and his daughter also come this way, due to which 8 of 8 are saved and start going up again. Now Dalen knew everything because there was a time when he used to work in the ship, although he had left the ship, but he still had a lot of information about the ship. Now the scene of the hall is shown, where all the people were waiting for some help. All of them seemed to be very nervous because the strong glass was also breaking due to the pressure of the water. And then as the glass breaks, a lot of water comes in with the pressure, in which all of them drowned and die. They can't do anything but scream at their last moment. They hear their screams. They hear 8 people and understand that all the poor people are dead. But at this time, where these people were, water begins to flow there too, but there is no way to get out of here. Then he opens a small ventilation, which was a small way, and says that this is the only way out. But because that place was a tank, only one person could go at a time. So that's why these people start going forward one by one. There is a robot at the top and Dalen at the bottom. As people were moving forward, they see that water has started coming from below, which now water begins to come in, that ventilation. Then as people reach the end of the ventilation, they see that there is a net there, which the robot tries to open a lot, but cannot open it because there was a back on it, and his hand was not going out from there. That's why he tells that woman's child, "You come up, son, hurry up." Then the next moment he calls the child up to him and asks everyone if anyone has a coin or something of the kind that we can open the page, on which the girl who was with him, who was living without a ticket, takes off a cross locket from her neck, says that these people may open the page with this. Then the child takes the cross and slowly starts opening the page. Because his hand was broken, it reached the page, but the water was increasing here, and because Dalen was at the bottom, he was submerged in water for a long time, and now he was about to drown. Then fortunately the net opens so that everyone comes out one by one, so that Dylan's life is also saved, and now he had to go only 2 floors up. after which all their lives will be saved, but when people go ahead, they get stuck in a tank. They can't go down because water is coming from there. They couldn't go ahead either because there was no way to get out of here except for a small road which was very strong. Because it was a tank, that's why Dalen explains to them that where we are standing right now, this is a tank, where water is filled to keep the ship in balance, and when it is completely filled with water, this small road opens, after which all the water goes to that other tank. And now if we have to get out of here, then we will have to fill this tank of ours so that when it is full, then after opening the door, the water goes to the other tank. We can be saved by this, which makes Robert's daughter very nervous. She says that if the door doesn't open even after filling the water, and what will happen if we break our breath in the middle of this? On which Dalen answers in anger and anxiety that he doesn't know, but apart from this, we have no other way. So now here, Robert and Dalen decide that they will fill water in this tank, after which they gradually start filling it with water. Now as soon as the tank is filled with water, but still the door doesn't open, because of which all these people are very disappointed. But then the next moment suddenly, that door opens, and all these people come to the other tank with the pressure of water. Now they were saved from that tank, but the problems were still not reduced, because to save them from here, to get out, they will have to swim and go to the other side. After which everyone takes a deep breath and try to go to the other side. Here at the very end, there was a girl who had been hiding in the ship for a long time. When she was moving forward, then her clothes get stuck in a wire, from which she gets stuck there. Although that old man saves her and brings her up, but by then her breath is broken, which means she is dead. After which now there are 7 people left, and they start moving forward again. Now they reach that floor where there are big punks from which they have to get out. But as soon as they come here, they see that there is a lot of water here. The pressure of the water is increasing, on which the dead body was floating. Seeing this, Dalen becomes very disappointed. Then looking at her face, she asks the child, "What happened, Dalen? Why are you disappointed?" On which Dalen says that from where we had to get out, that part is submerged in water. We can't even reach there because it is very far and more water is increasing. Which Robert says, then we should go to a higher place. But unfortunately there is no other way to get out of here. On which, being sad, Robert says to Dalen that thank you. You tried a lot to save all of us, but maybe it is written in our fate that we will die in this ship. And anyway, not everything is in human control. But then the engine room here, there is a big explosion which removes all the water that was filled, and by doing this, that way is also emptied of water from where they have to get out. That is where those big fans were. But whenever they reach there, another problem comes in front of them, and that is that the fan was still rotating on its own. The bigger problem was that it was not straight, but it was rotating in the opposite direction, which meant that even if they throw something at it, it will not go towards the fan and come back to them. And then Robert gets a map, which tells him that there is a control room just below these fans, where these fans can be closed. But the control room is at a distance of 150 feet from here, and going there means death. But despite this, Robert was ready to go there, seeing which his daughter's friend says, "Let it be, you can't go there, let me go, because I can go there and I can also close these fans." Immediately after which he was ready to go there to close the fans, but because of his leaving, Robert's daughter is crying. She tells him not to go. Then his friend says it is necessary to go. Someone will have to go. And now seeing his daughter crying, Robert himself dives into the water and starts moving towards the control room. Then we see that Dalen is not here because that little boy was drowned in the water, which Dalen and his mom were looking for. The child finds him very soon, which Dalen also saves, after which he comes back to the same place where the rest of the people were. But the problem was that the water was also increasing here, and if they don't close the fans or don't get out of here, then they will also drown and die. There Robert reaches the control room and tries to close the fans, but he sees that the button from which the fans were to be closed, it is broken, and at the same time, Robert's breath is breaking, because of which he is suffering. He was about to die. That's when he sees that button, which reverses the fans. That is, the direction of the fans can be changed. And a few seconds before dying, he presses that button, after which he dies, which means that Robert gave his life to save all of them. Above, Dalen sees that the fan is still not closing. That's why he says in fear, "Why is it still running? Why is it not closing? And then Robert's daughter's friend sees that things that were coming towards us means the air pressure was on our side. It is now reversed. That's why he says to Dalen that Robert has reversed the fans, so now we can throw things and turn off the engine, can stop the fans. After which he gives a very big cylinder to Dalen. Dalen throws such a cylinder towards the fans, so there is a very big explosion, due to which the engine stops and the fans also finally break, after which they leave that way. One by one, this ship sinks into the water from Poseidon and quickly gets on a small boat, which came from Poseidon because there are many such boats and ships. When everyone gets on it, then Poseidon starts falling towards them, so everyone starts screaming quickly, and then the Poseidon that was about to fall on them, they had come a long way from it. Poseidon, which was a very big ship, was floating on very calm water a few hours ago, and it was completely submerged in water, after which it fires a flare gun so that the rescue team that has come out to save them, they see them. Then it happens exactly the same. In a while, the rescue team reaches them and saves them all, and in this way the lives of these 6 people are saved, and that's it. This story ends here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care.